I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Beth Sasfai. She is the Chief ESG Officer at Verizon. Beth, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, Judy. Thanks for having me.
Now, Beth, you've served as Verizon's Chief ESG Officer since 2019. Can you talk about how the practice of ESG has evolved at Verizon since you took on that role? And how does that role play into the company's ESG reporting?
Our board asked us to build out a dedicated ESG team and my role in 2019. I think they saw where ESG was headed. It was moving from having a corporate social responsibility report to kind of more data governance, investor-focused ESG reporting. And so I already sat in the corporate governance group. I had a team under me that supported the SEC reporting that Verizon does. We also, work with the board and investor relations. So I think it seemed like a natural fit to move ESG into our team. And so in addition to kind of taking on our ESG reporting, we also started taking on ESG engagement and working with investors.
Okay, so tell me, what role does ESG play in the overall corporate strategy?
So ESG is really integral to Verizon's corporate strategy, right? Our strategy drives our key ESG areas that we focus on. So if you think about Verizon, we build the networks that move the world forward, right? And so what comes along with that? Well, when you think about, building and running world-class networks, you think about network resiliency, you think about network efficiency and making sure we're caring for our greenhouse gas emissions and our energy footprint. You think about things like diversity, equity, and inclusion, and making sure that we've got a diverse workforce that looks like our customers and comes up with creative solutions, making sure that we have kind of different viewpoints in the company. You also think about making sure that we're a leader in areas like data privacy and cybersecurity, things that are kind of integral and core to our business. And then finally, I'd say we're very focused on digital inclusion as well, right? Given the nature of our business strategy, we're focused on making sure everyone can be connected.
All right, so how does Verizon strike a balance between data-driven information in its ESG reporting and a focus on storytelling and case studies? And then tell me what's next for reporting.
I think that's a terrific question because one of the tensions we see, right, is investors are very focused on getting data. And so one of the things Verizon did was talk to our investors about what sorts of data they wanted and how did they want it presented. And so one of the changes we made was to come up with kind of an ESG hub where we have all of our ESG data in one place, and we have a downloadable spreadsheet that gives you 3 years of trend data, which our investors really like. But we've also been focused on, as you mentioned, storytelling, because we have a lot of stakeholders, including our employees and our customers, who want to really understand what we're doing and why. So they want to understand the governance behind various ESG issues. They want to understand how we care for risks. They also want to understand how we think about opportunities and what our impact is. So we've made sure that our ESG report contains a lot of narrative, but we've also done a lot of other things like coming up with social media cards that may call out particular ESG areas that we'll blast out on Twitter, but trying to make things a little more digestible for other stakeholder groups rather than just investors. And so I think, where do we see ESG reporting heading? As you know, I think ESG reporting is headed into our financials. I think it's headed into our SEC reporting. And I think companies are going to have to be creative then about how we care for the storytelling aspect. We certainly don't want to leave that behind. So what are we going to do to make sure we're serving all of our stakeholders? So that's one of the challenges my team is focused on this year.
Well, Beth, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining me on NYSE Floor Talk.
Thanks, Judy.